everyone, welcome back. Today is going to be a bit of a short video, but we're going to go through both builds, so both the Mustang and the Camaro, and I'll just give you a little update on what's the progress with these. Before we get started, I have some exciting news. I'm returning to Twitch. I know a lot of you have been asking me to do so, so I'm finally coming back in January, and I will let you guys know once I return. So it'll probably be like mid-January, but I'll let you guys know on all my socials. The biggest thing with the Mustang is that the floor panel, it's basically almost entirely gone. There's a big hole here on the passenger side and also on the driver's side. Now this area here is pretty much almost ready. I would say it's basically ready. It's like the edges are grinded and it's just ready to go with the new floor pan. Now when it comes to the driver's side, that one still needs some work. And I know this has taken a long time, but let me just show you why there's been a delay with this. So the rust on the floor panels extended a little bit further than what I thought it would be, and I saw that and realized it once I did all the cutting. So it pretty much extends like past where the floorboards would usually stop, which is right here. It extends a little bit here towards the firewall on both the driver's side and the passenger side. So that was my holdup, because if I install new ones, I mean, I'm still going to have rust in this area, and I also don't want to put it here because this is like very fragile. It's about to fall apart. It's just filled with rust. So I was waiting on that part, which is pretty much a new firewall, and that was delayed for like, I don't know, like a month or a little bit more than a month. It was really frustrating. It's finally here, but let me show you what my plan is with that part. So this is the firewall, but I'm not going to be using the entire thing because the rest of the firewall in the car is already good, and that just gets way more complicated than the situation that I'm already in. So what I plan on using is about a third of it. So probably like up to here. So it's not half, it's like a little bit less. So probably like a third of it, and then just use all of that, remove the existing rusting parts of it, and then just weld the rest of it on there. Then everything along with the floor pan should be really good, and this project should now move along faster. So just to give you another perspective of this, this is what the interior looks like on the Mustang, but from the top view instead of a bottom view. Just like the bottom, there's two big holes. It's nothing special, and these are already pretty big, but I still need to cut more to just get those two pieces from the firewall off. So once it has the floorboards and then that piece of the firewall is back on, we'll be good to go. I'll move on to the suspension. That way I can finally put the wheels on it, be able to roll it out, and then have the Camaro come on here and then start on that project. So once the Mustang is out with the wheels and the suspension, I can then go back and work on the interior with the carpeting, the seats, the dash, which I think should be easier, but I guess I'll find out. Here's the sad condition of the Camaro. It's just a shell and the parts are still just laying here. It just kind of frustrates me because I didn't think that the Mustang was going to take this long, that parts were going to delay all of this, and then in turn delay this build too. Camaro is a bit more of a headache than the Mustang because this did have previous work done to it, and it just kind of threw my plans, my original plans that I had for it, just out the window. So for now, I'm just going to focus on removing the rust from the floor panels when it comes to the driver's side, this front area, the passenger side, and also I'm just going to go ahead and just cut it off straight, cut through that transmission tunnel. So when you put the shifter, it just has a big hole around it. It looks like shit, and that's just not my style, and I'm also not going to be using this same shifter. Part of my original plan for this car was to add a proper trunk to it, but I'm not going to be able to do that now. At least I'll have to revisit it later because the hinges were just cut, and not in a good way. It just looks like a total hack job. So for now, it'll just stay with the removable trunk lid. I will revisit this once everything else is done on the car. The car has power, it's moving, it's good. Then I'll come back to that because it's not that serious compared to all the other issues that need to be fixed on here. Like a rear end that's completely gone and missing. There's nothing here, so that's another thing that's not going to be fun, is finding a replacement for a tubbed Camaro. So just like with the Mustang, once those floor pans are good, then I can move on and then install the subframe, move on to the suspension, and then the interior, and pretty much everything else that needs to be completed. In hindsight, I feel like I should have just left the Camaro alone and then just finish off the Mustang once it was completely done, move on to the Camaro. But I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking that this is not going to take that long and it's not going to be that complicated and it'll just go smoothly. But I didn't anticipate, I mean, I knew that parts were going to be a little bit difficult to find, they'll be delayed. I just didn't think it was gonna be like this long, because for my modern cars, the parts are just always available. Hopefully this will go a lot smoother, which probably won't, but I'll just keep on. I finally understand what people mean that their projects take like 3, 4, 10 years. This one is not gonna take that long, but I finally get it. But that is it for this short update, and I'll see you guys on the next one.